And good evening, everyone, and thanks for ending your work week with us. Annie is off tonight, and we're going to begin with some of our local athletes looking to extend their work week. They've got visions of state titles dancing in their heads, but they have to keep on winning. And one of the hottest teams right now is Richland. The Bombers are peaking at the right time at Fran Rich Stadium to host Skyview, down 3-0 just before the half, and with a 30-mile-an-hour wind at his back, quarterback Zach Whitby goes to work, one slant pass after another, chewing up the yardage, and that sets up a nice run by Nathan Perry. He starts up the middle, bounces it to the outside, takes it in from 15 yards out. The Bombers up 7-3. And how about Touchy, the Tribe, just pouring it on against Odessa Harrington. They had 30 unanswered points after just one quarter of play. And those title hopes for these young men in red are very much alive. And it doesn't end with football. A number of our girls' volleyball teams are in action as well, including Connell and Tri-Cities Prep, the Slams, the Digs, the Saves. Morgan Vance will have much more coming up later in sports. And now to a story that started with one of your Facebook tips, telling us that you've become a victim of credit and debit card fraud. Well, Gina Lazara looked into the problem and learned there is a common denominator.
Here's some AL something club for $406.
Now, if you feel you've become a victim of fraud, call your bank immediately. You should be able to get back any money that was lost. And law enforcement says that even money is not bringing forward the information they need. Benton County deputies offered a $1,000 reward for anyone with info leading to the arrest in the case of major vandalism at the Kybee School District. They say the reward has not produced any information. No one's even called. The vandal broke through 3 doors to access the main server room last week. Computers were smashed and phone lines were cut. The damage is estimated more than $100,000. Right now, sheriffs are still trying to track down and eliminate theories they have, and they have no solid suspects at this time.
Meanwhile, temperatures in the 40s. I'll have all the details on our weather coming up in just a few moments. Terry, back to you.
Mike, I don't know if I should say thank you to that. It sounds like a nasty weekend. Well, Keeper first told you about the top crimes in our counties, and now we pulled the most updated figures to get the latest trends. In Benton County, controlled substance violations come in at number 1. Thefts and burglaries rank as the second. Assaults have dropped off the top 3 list. And across the river in Franklin County, driving while suspended tops the list. And we spoke with one theft victim who says it's all too much.
Well, really devastating. They meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Most crimes have a nexus with a controlled substance abuse or problem.
Well, marijuana cases have also dropped in Franklin County by 76% over the past 2 years. Well, how about some good news to close out our Friday? A record number of swans have flooded McNary headquarters this week. 84 were counted on Wednesday, but dozens have decided to stick around. And Fish and Wildlife believe the underwater vegetation attracted the birds.
Anytime you see a swan, it's fantastic. I mean, they're so big, you know, upwards of 26 pounds. And we've been lucky in that we have both tundra and trumpeter out here, a lot of times swimming side by side.
They are a beautiful sight. The nearby sluice attracts all sorts of birds over the winter. About 106,000 people have signed up for health care nationwide. That's far short of the 500,000 the government projected for the first month. Now, most of the signups are older Americans with health issues, and that brings us to this week's edition of Say What. A successful rollout of the Affordable Care Act is contingent on one thing, and that's 20-somethings. The generation that's not even a guarantee at the polls is now expected to be the backbone of a system seriously in trouble. Annie Andrews went straight to the source on this one, college students. And their responses might surprise you.
Ping pong at 10 a.m.? Who can afford the time? A 20-something. Pool, coffee with friends? A 20-something.
Well, we want to hear what you think. Do the students have it right? The conversation isn't over. It's just moved to our Facebook page. Please join in. Well, sports is coming up next, and you know what's on tap. Plenty of playoff fever from the gridiron to the volleyball court. And our guys have got you covered. It's coming your way right after the timeout. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Action News. And welcome back. And crime was sweeping through San Francisco today, but thankfully a very special 5-year-old was called on to save the day. And Dan Simon has the story that touched the hearts of thousands in the city by the bay and online. What an incredible story.
Yeah.
The entire city turned out. That is just
They
phenomenal.
printed a special edition paper
Yes,
for me.
absolutely.
That is the coolest thing.
He'll remember it, and he's going to be around to fight for it. That's good to
Yeah.
hear. Mike, you've got a little map you want to show us.
Yes.
It looks chilly just looking at the map.
It does.
Yeah,
I
look
mean,
at
you
that.
know, it's that wind that really puts the bite in the air, and it's going to stick with us tomorrow. Yakima, Tri-Cities, blustery. Looks like the mountains will continue to get snow, especially into the Blues and the Panhandle of Idaho. Meanwhile, they've been getting up at Snoqualmie and White Pass tonight.
Yes, they have. All right, if you have to travel, take it easy. If not, kick back and enjoy the weekend. We'll see you Monday.